We've reached 10 o'clock here in Pittsburgh, and while we were away, Romeo Cornell kind of explaining the facts of life to Dennis Northcutt there on the sidelines. You've been part of those conversations. What are they like?
Oh, yeah. Usually coaches don't have very good breath.
Parker with a first carry of the second half, picking up a first down before he's in the arms of Cameron Wembley. Parker enjoying a fine evening so far. The first half, he had 18 carries, 114 yards. His game high for the year is 213. That came against the Saints. He's having things very much his own way tonight.
Well, I'm telling you, the interior three on this offensive line are just kicking butt out here. Alan Faneca, Jeff Hardings, Kendall Simmons, all guys that have just been dominant so far up front.
And Parker will get it again. Getting close to the first down as he moves it to the 32. Willie McGinnis credited with the stop.
Right now, the offensive line is just quicker getting to blocks than the Cleveland Browns are at getting off of them. You can see the speed as they just get to the corner, and Willie Parker did a nice job setting that up. He knew he wanted to bounce it to the outside, so he hugged the inside, knowing where the hole was. The linebackers collapsed there, gave him some room to bounce out. Good play.
Parker again. Slips it outside. Crosses the 40 to the 42-yard line.
That time it was Heath Miller that came up with a great block on the outside. Heath Miller is probably, if not the best, one of the best blocking tight ends in the league. That time working against Alvin McKinley. And you saw Willie Parker with a little delay, again setting it up inside. If you want to run outside, and it sounds stupid, and the hole's outside, you got to go inside. And then bounce it to the outside so they don't know where you're going.
Doesn't sound stupid.
No.
Perfectly logical. They're wearing Parker out. Andre Davis stops him as he works his way back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a loss of one.
Is that a strange looking play?
That was a little bizarre.
I don't know if he didn't get the handoff right or didn't know that what was going on that one. But
looked like it was slow motion.
Yeah, there's something strange going on with that one.
No game. Second down and 10.
For the Cleveland Browns, they needed something strange because they've been getting gouged on a regular basis. I'll tell you one thing, Pittsburgh Steelers not going to quit running it until you make them do something else.
Parker again trying that right side. And we should notice they try that right side time and again, that Simon Frazier is getting a start where Orpheus Roy normally plays. Roy has a bum knee, and so he is inactive tonight.
Yeah, that time Ted Washington gave running back a bum knee. Ted Washington, every once in a while. You know, he's not real good on that whole change of direction thing anymore, but when he can run in a straight line and plow right through you, and the running back happens to be running that way, it's over.
That's a big man.
That's a long way to run around somebody like that.
3rd and 7 for the Steelers. Roethlisberger, great catch, Holmes. The rookie out of Ohio State. The only wide receiver picked in the first round of the recent draft, snaring that one.
This is a blitz that the Baltimore Ravens gave them nightmares with the other night. Coming with the cross here, but you see two guys in the block now. Heath Miller, the tight end back there with Najee Davenport. And when you went back to the game a few weeks ago, it was Willie Parker back there. Well, Willie Parker can't block those linebackers. He's not big enough to do that. Now they come back there with Davenport. They come back with Heath Miller, and Roethlisberger has plenty of time to make that throw.
Call it a 23-yard gain. Holmes 3 catches, 56 yards on the night. Parker again bouncing it outside. Breaking the tackle of Jeremy Perry.
Now let's go back a couple of weeks now against the Baltimore Ravens, and this was what was going on. They're blitzing heavy from all different sides. Roethlisberger said that's the hardest hit he's ever taken.
Ouch.
There's Willie Parker again trying to pick up Adalius Thomas on the outside. That didn't work. So they basically have had a change in strategy, and in talking with Bill Cowher, he said that was just a bad game plan. We didn't do what we should have done in that game. And now they've made the changes, put the bigger guys back there, and they're doing a much better job picking up the blitz.
Was that Suggs who hit that lasting hit on Roethlisberger?
I thought it was Bart Scott.
Okay, it was Scott. I'm sorry. Roethlisberger being flushed out to the sidelines. He'll step out.
Roethlisberger.
That time, Ben Roethlisberger was trying to tell Santonio Holmes, go deep. Go. He came up, and Roethlisberger waved him deep. You're going to see now on a scramble drill. This is the old Bill Walsh stuff. Here you are. Now you're there, and then you're going to come back to the quarterback. But then he waved him deep, and if he had gone deep a little bit earlier, he would have been behind Sean Jones and scored a touchdown. Roethlisberger saw it. Holmes did.
Holmes just a rookie. It'll be 3rd and 3, and Davenport has checked in for Parker in the backfield. That's Washington in motion. Ben with lots of time. This is Jeremy Tooman with his first catch of the night. Gets it inside the 10. Sean Jones on the stop.
Well, there's a little vintage Ben Roethlisberger. You give him time to throw. They're only going to bring 4 on this one, actually 3, because one guy was covering the back. He steps through, he gets out of the pocket, and that's probably when he's at his most dangerous. That sort of mobility is what set him apart when he was making all those great runs early in his career and sending this team to the Super Bowl. And I don't know, the whole thing's been a little crazy here lately for Ben Roethlisberger, but we keep seeing glimpses of the way that he was.
It's left the Steelers 1st and goal from the 7, and Parker once again trying the right side, getting inside the 5 to the 4-yard line.
And Willie Parker this year has had more of the short touchdown runs than what he had a season ago. He was always the home run hitter. He was the guy that if you had, you know, a long touchdown run, it was Willie Parker. But now without Jerome Bettis here, it's a completely different thing. You look at his statistics, he averaged like 35 yards a touchdown or whatever a year ago. There you go, 35 yards. And this year, about 4 yards per touchdown because he's now in those goal line packages.
Another long drive for the Steelers. This one started at their own 9-yard line. They're now at Cleveland's 4. Parker. Sean Jones and Lee Bodden coming up from the secondary.
Now, I have to say that we said before that Willie Parker had an advantage and the bus couldn't have gotten through that hole. If the bus was running the ball there, that would have been a touchdown.
Point counterpoint.
Yeah, he would have taken the tacklers and crammed them all right back into the end zone. And so that's really, if they've been lacking a little something this year, they don't have that one guy that can do all of it. And it was nice when the bus was there as a complimentary player to Willie Parker, who was really the starter and the star a season ago.
3rd and 2, and Parker's gone to the sidelines. Davenport has checked in. Roethlisberger bootlegging left into the end zone. Touchdown Steelers. Give Jeff Harding's credit for the key block on Cameron Wembley, allowing Roethlisberger to just step his way in.
Ben Roethlisberger on the naked bootleg, and it was Jeff Hardings that got the peel back block on the outside against Cameron Wembley, who never saw it coming. That's one of those they'll enjoy in the films tomorrow.
Jeff Reed on for the extra point. Reed's extra point punctuates a 91-yard drive. 12 plays, 91 yards, 8 up, 7:29. With 5:32 to go in the 3rd period, 17-0.
Druids Glen Golf Resort, voted European Golf Resort of the Year 2005. A golfer's paradise in the Garden of Ireland. 2 championship golf courses of contrasting design. The luxurious Marriott Druids Glen Hotel and Country Club, featuring 148 specially appointed guest rooms and a magnificent spa and health centre. Visit our driving range, pro shops, golf academy, and get your golfing tips or tuition from our resident PGA teaching professional.
back in Pittsburgh, where the Steelers have just taken a commanding 17-0 lead on a Ben Roethlisberger bootleg, 12 plays, 91 yards.
And that young man got the football. Ben Roethlisberger went over. There was a sign over there that said, "All I want for my birthday is a win," by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Well, how about a win and a ball from Ben Roethlisberger?
That kind of beats it.
That beats somebody singing happy birthday to you, especially you.
This is Krebs. And he's brought down at about the 40. They have successfully bottled him up tonight, something they didn't do 3 weeks ago. There's Ben Roethlisberger making a birthday boy pretty happy on a night when he's leading 17-0.
I'm mic'd up.
You're mic'd up?
Oh, yeah.
Let's have some fun tonight. One big drive, guys. Let's go win the game, okay? I right tight, Z left slot. Hop to dot right slot, long spear. No one.
He broke a run, I got it.
No way, no way. I got it.
Caught by Horn on a leaping grab a yard deep.
Good catch.
It's better than Desperate Housewives.
Charlie Fry looking on from the sidelines. He is the emergency quarterback tonight, having started all the Browns games this year, as Derek Anderson gets his shot. And Anderson playing pretty well. 163 yards he's thrown for tonight in his first NFL start. This one in and out of the hands of Terrell Smith. As the Browns find themselves in the short end of a 17-0 score, it's worth noting that last week Anderson came in when they were 2 scores down. He completed 2 touchdown passes to tight end Steve Hyden as he led them back against the Chiefs. And this was the key play to keep the drive alive in overtime. Anderson refusing to go out of bounds, a 33-yard run up the right sideline.
That's the one they say you look like Forrest Gump. And I have to tell you, I have a hard time watching it without laughing.
He'll give this time for Reuben Drones, and
Reuben Jones.
same result.
Boy, I tell you, here we go. We talked about a little bit earlier that when the Pittsburgh Steelers defense gets you down, they start whacking you even harder and then talking to you, and then you get mad, and then you do something stupid, and then they catch you with a blind shot, and then they laugh at you, and that's just the way it's been. And these guys, they've been playing out here today. I tell you, there's been some good play in the secondary, too. Bryant McFadden, they've been trying to do double moves and all kinds of things to him all night, and he has really done a nice job on the corner.
It's worth noting once again that the Steelers are missing their 2 starting safeties tonight, especially Troy Polamalu. This is Jason Wright being dragged down from behind by Larry Foote.
Well, the Steelers are digging deep in their playbook right now. They're starting to come with blitzes all the way around the corner here. These 2 guys are going to come all the way around. Watch how fast they are, though. They're fast enough they can catch an inside trap play, running the wrong direction first and then coming around and making the play. That's what Romeo Crennel used to see with his guys back with the Patriots and what he's not seeing so far with the Cleveland Browns.
Sastadil to punt again. Once again, San Antonio, I'm all right. San Antonio Holmes is back.
That's not cold.
And he'll get a chance to return this one, but not very far before he is knocked out of bounds as he crosses the 25. The Steeler defense playing very stout tonight and getting all the offense they need from Roethlisberger and company. They lead 17-0.
There was a moment there where I thought, that was a pretty doggone good throw. I can probably play.
My sophomore year against Thomasville, I only got 3 balls. And those 3 went for 144 yards and 2 touchdowns. I knew right then that I was on my way.
And the stadium was rocking, it was packed. Got a total of 400-some yards. That's when I knew.
When people stopped calling me Archie's boy and started calling me Peyton, that was a big moment for me.
play football. They say everything's bigger in Texas, which explains why Houston drafted Mario Williams #1 overall in 2006. The hulking 6'7", 290-pounder will anchor the Texans' defensive line and unleash his fury on opposing quarterbacks. If Williams lives up to expectations, the Texans could be looking at their first ever winning season.
Steelers leading 17-0. You like a balanced attack? The Steelers right now, 179 yards rushing, 179 yards passing.
I don't think the Browns like it too much.
Yeah, Willie Parker. Willie Parker down the right sidelines, pushed out of bounds at about the 35-yard line by Sean Jones.
Well, it looks like they're just running the same play all night long.
Pickup of 39.
You know, Ted Washington sometimes can get the penetration, but once they get movement on him, and you see the double team again, Alan Faneca, who's had a great game tonight, got some movement on Ted Washington, and then Willie Parker, boy, once he gets in the secondary, it is over. You know, it's unbelievable. He was at North Carolina. He didn't even start. I mean, how can you not start Willie Parker in North Carolina? They must be really good there.
Yeah, that's why they got a new coach, because they're really good there. Roethlisberger with lots of time. Throwing over the middle, Davenport trying to stay on his feet, gets inside the 15-yard line.
And poor Andre Davis is saying, you have to be kidding me. I covered him for the first 10 seconds. Somebody want to get a little pass rush back there? Ajay Davenport coming out of the backfield, and he's just sort of fooling around. Look at his protection. Ted Washington, he's exhausted. He can't come in anymore. And it's just, you can't give somebody 8 seconds to throw the football.
Look at that, will you? 180 plays of 10 or more yards. The most in the NFL, Pittsburgh Steelers this year.
Or the Cleveland Browns have to come up with an answer for a pass rusher, because they just simply, they're terrible on that front.
Parker again, right side. Parker inside the 5.
Well, I said they're terrible with the pass rusher, not too good against the run either.
No, they're wearing out that right side.
The Steelers are just overwhelming them. And for Romeo Crennel, you know, they had the really tough day a couple of weeks ago against the Cincinnati Bengals. Were blown out there, came back and won against the Kansas City Chiefs. But right now, this is starting to look a lot more like it did against the Cincinnati Bengals. And it's getting a little embarrassing for the Browns.
Willie Parker now, 28 carries, 209 yards on the night.
And about 90% of it between the tackles.
First and goal. Parker again. Touchdown Steelers. Parker's 13th touchdown of the year. Willie Parker closing in on a Steelers record for touchdowns in the season. Was it 15?
Closing in on a lot of records here tonight. We still have another quarter to play. And he ought to turn around and go give a big hug to Alan Faneca and Jeff Hardings. They're blowing people off the ball, just taking the Browns and shoving them in the end zone.
And Jeff Reed makes it a 24-0 ball game on a night when the Steelers offense is clicking on all cylinders. When we come back, the Browns will get back on the field and try to find something that works on a cold night at Heinz Field.
college basketball returns to NASN. Visit NASN.com for scheduling news and information.
Now this is my size net.
This is my backhand.
I saw it coming. This is my other team. No boys allowed.
That's my shoe.
There we go. This is my rink.
This is my walk home from the arena.
NASN, the North American Sports Network, a new and exciting sports channel dedicated to the best in live North American sports 24/7. NASN is the best of live NFL, including the Super Bowl live, up to 175 regular season NHL games and the Stanley Cup Finals, comprehensive coverage of the MLB regular and postseason, and exclusive college football and basketball. With the best daily news, highlights, and analysis, NASN is your channel for the best in live North American sports. Visit NASN.com for scheduling news and information.
A lot of football in about 16 days right there.
You think?
Get your frequent flyer miles. Boy, look at the day that Willie Parker's having.
He's got 212 yards. That puts him within 6 of the Steelers' record held by John Frenchie Fuqua, who carried for 218 against Philly, at Philly in 1970. So that record stood for quite a while.
Unless he gets kidnapped on the sideline, I think he's going to get this record. He has really been explosive. One of the things the coaches talked about with him is sometimes the more carries he gets, the more comfortable he is. And boy, he looks pretty comfortable right now.
Cribbs will feel a ground ball and gets bounced down at about the 32.
Darnell Dinkins got hit so hard on that play, he got smashed right back into Joshua Cribbs. And that's been a trend tonight.
You were talking about Parker's carries. He's got 29 on the night. The Steeler record you're alluding to, he's getting to a lot of records. He's got 12 to go before he reaches Franco Harris. 41 is the record.
Well, you go back to the touchdown, and there were 2 double teams on this play. You had double teams coming right here and double teams coming inside as well. And watch the movement. I mean, this is pro football. Not often do you see defensive linemen stuff back into the end zone, but I can tell you that's not a good sign when that happens for a defense.
And now all bets are off for poor Derek Anderson. Everybody in the ball yard knows he's got to throw it, and he does to Braylon Edwards, fighting for yardage inside the 40.
One thing you cannot deny about Braylon Edwards is his toughness. I mean, this is a tough spot here. It's 24-0, and there's some guys looking to not catch the ball at this point in the game around the National Football League, but he's still fighting for every yard, and he's the type of guy that you can build a franchise around. There's no question. He and Kellen Winslow, and they just have to make up their mind. Do they have the right quarterback, or do they still have to go out and hunt for one of those?
Anderson thrown again, getting pressure, dumps it out to Lawrence Vickers. He takes one in the chops from Aaron Smith. I'm sorry, that's Brett Kiesel. Came in there. Kellen Winslow having a quiet evening. He leads all tight ends in receptions. He's just got 4 tonight for 19 yards.
Yeah, I was going to make a point about Brett Kiesel there, who made that last hit come flying in there. That was the guy that last year used to bust the wedge on the kickoff team. And if you get a chance to play, and now he's the starter over there at defensive end, and you watch him, and he savors every moment of this starting role.
Derek Anderson steps up in the pocket, lobs this one over the middle, picked off Anthony Smith. First pick of the night. He was going for Braylon Edwards, couldn't get much on it as he stepped up in the pocket to avoid the rush. And it was cherry picking time for Smith.
I don't know what Derek Anderson was thinking on that one. He was off stride. He was stepping up in the pocket and just tried to all arm throw this one. And Anthony Smith, the rookie, said, thank you very much. I mean, you just can't get any easier. There's not anybody even in his zone over there. Braylon Edwards was coming across the field, but there was nobody to distract Smith. And, you know, rookie, college, high school, I don't care what kind of free safety, you're going to make that play. He's had a nice night tonight, though. Anthony Smith's coming in there and playing for Ryan Clark. He's had a good night.
And Smith is the rookie filling in out of Syracuse. This will be our final play of the third period. And of course, it's Willie Parker getting to within 4 yards of another Steeler first down. Not an awful lot going right for the Cleveland Browns on this night. They're on the short end of a 24-0 score. We're back to start the fourth period right after this.
Already a star, Sean Alexander became the brightest in 2005. As he won his first NFL rushing title and scored 28 touchdowns, an NFL single-season record.
And number 37, the record.
He carried Seattle to its first Super Bowl.
So you all right, Jake?
Well, don't you think Mum's been acting a bit weird?
I wouldn't worry about it, son.
Only Actimel contains the good bacteria LC Immunitas. Try it and see if you feel the difference.
Hi, I'm Mark Messier with an update on the Cold FX NHL All-Star Fan Balloting presented by 2K Sports. Now you can help choose this year's NHL All-Star Game participants. Just click to vote for your favorite players. Visit NHL.com to vote. Vote often.
Now you're seeing the All-Star stuff.
Click to vote, then watch the NHL All-Star Game January 24th on NASN.
It's cold, but this is a game to warm Bill Cowher's heart. For the record, the Pittsburgh Steelers at 5-7 are not mathematically eliminated, but as you can see, only 3 teams out of 73 have made the playoffs after starting 5-7.
They had the scenario in the local papers here how they could make the playoffs, and after I got to about step 8 of that process, I started laughing. I said, oh, forget it. If all that stuff happens, they deserve to go to the playoffs. Of course, if they got in the playoffs, they'd probably win the Super Bowl like they did last year.
Willie Parker has set a franchise record tonight, picking up 219 yards now. I'm sorry, 220. Passing Frenchie Fuqua. Does that mean he's got to wear the glass heels with the goldfish inside?
You know what? I bet you have a pair of those is what I was thinking.
I'm old enough to.
Great night for Willie Parker, but I think he owes a dinner to those 5 guys in front of him, too.
Parker again with his 31st carry of the night, gets the Steeler first down. We're talking about that playoff picture in the AFC. There are 5 teams among the wild card entries. Care to pick 2?
Well, I really think it's going to end up being the Jets because of their remaining schedule is not too tough. And then you end up with the Bengals and the Broncos playing on, I think it's the night after Christmas. And the winner of that game, I think, will be the other one. Although, where I've been wrong on so much stuff this year, I wouldn't put any money on it. It's been a crazy year. It really has been. When you think you know something about this league, it turns around the next week and goes the other direction.
Davenport giving Parker a breather. He's pushed out of bounds. You know, you say you think the Jets will make it. We ought to give a nod here to Eric Mangini, who's just done a wonderful job with the New York Jets.
I mean, that was supposed to be the worst team in football.
Yes.
Honestly, that was supposed to be the worst team in football. And he has just done a remarkable job. Really, that whole organization, they have the youngest general manager, the youngest head coach. And they've just announced that Willie Parker set the record. And I bet you somewhere Jerome Bettis, who's had a tough week with his father passing away, is standing up and applauding as well.
It'll be 2nd and 3. Davenport gets it inside. And he's close to the first down marker.
You know, Johnny Bettis, and we talked about it, passed away this past week from a heart attack. And the Pittsburgh Steelers as an organization were sick that they had to play on this Thursday game because it meant that only about 7 or 8 of them could actually go to the funeral, but a lot of them did. I think Ben Roethlisberger got a plane, and Casey Hampton, Deshae Townsend, and Joey Porter, and Charlie Batch, and Hines Ward, and the list goes on and on. But what Joey Porter told me was that they weren't just Jerome Bettis' parents. They were the Pittsburgh Steelers' parents, that they came to everything. They never missed a game. They never missed a big moment, and they treated all the guys on the team like they were their sons.
We've talked about the Steelers going from 5-7, like 7-5 a year ago, to 5-7 now. We haven't talked about Bettis' impact in the locker room, where he is sorely missed, you would have to assume.
Just loved, and I tell you, Jerome Bettis is going to love that run from Najee Davenport. There have been a lot of questions about whether or not he could be the power back. He's a big guy. He's about 240 pounds, but he's never really been that kind of overwhelming power guy. Look at Cowher. He's saying, all right, giving high fives to Willie Parker.
He likes this.
But I guarantee he loved that run from Najee Davenport, because that's the question mark. Do they need to go get a big fullback type, a big Jerome Bettis type, or can he do it? And I think Davenport just made a statement with that one.
Davenport, a guy who's been nicked up the past couple of years.
Look at that.
258 yards on the ground. Davenport again slips a couple of tackles, sticks it up inside along off right tackle.